Okay guys, it's Mr. Stark, and I'm going to show you the sequence circuit where 3 motors go on in sequence and they go off in sequence, and they're determined by the time delay set. There are, if you look, there's 4 time delay relays, 2 of which are on delay, 2 of which are off delay. There's 3 motors, motor 1, motor 2, motor 3. The way this circuit works is when I hit the start button, motor 1 comes on. 10 seconds later, motor 2. 10 seconds later, motor 3. When I hit the stop button and de-energize, I will lose motor 3 immediately. 10 seconds later, I'll lose motor 2. 10 seconds later, I will lose motor 1. And of course, we can put the overloads in too. So this is a motor control circuit. 30 something wires that it would take to kind of jump all this out from relay to relay. Be pretty complicated because you got all these relays you got to label and make sure that your point to point is correct. So, you know, very workable circuit with relays, but timely. We're going to take the same thing and relabel it according to PLC. Come over here. You'll see the same motor control circuit, and I've converted a few names to make your programming easier. Input 0 is my stop. Input 1 is my start. I've replaced these 2 relays that were in parallel with each other. They would have both worked at the same time. I replaced them with 1 memory bit. So notice the 1 CR and 2 CR contacts in the drawing have been crossed off and been replaced with MO. 1 CR, 2 CR, 2 CR, 1 CR, they've all been replaced with memory bit contacts, because we can. So that just freed up having to use a couple of output relays that we don't need. Then you're going to see how the circuit then starts. I took this line and I went to a memory bit. Then I made this line right here go to Q4. And on my trainer, my Q4, 5, and 6 are 120 volt outputs. My 0 through 3s are 24 volts, so I want to make sure I got that right. Then I duplicated a rung of this piece, and I went right to my timer. My timer block ties into memory bit number 1. Then I added a rung. When I added the rung, it has this here, and it goes into Q5. Then I added a rung again with this piece. Then I came to my time delay relay number 2, and I used it with memory bit number 2. I duplicated this again, but now down to off delay TR4. Tied it into memory bit 4. Once again, I made this line go into Q6, which will be motor 3. Then I repeated this piece of the line to my other off delay that I tied into M3. So that's kind of what is going on in my head for that. What I just went over is exactly what you're seeing on the screen here. So I just went rung by rung what I did. So there's the start, and I'm not going to go back and forth between the drawing and this, but here's the first rung. You've got a stop start control relay. Control relay has been replaced with the M0 memory bit. Next rung, once again the memory bit 0. We have a normally open off delay tied into M4. That's in series with our first usable output at 120, which will turn on motor 1. So we know that's going to come on instantly. When we get here, the control relay then allows path for current flow into my on delay. This is going to take 10 seconds. So the preset is 10. You'll see it count from 0 to 10. 10 seconds later, it'll energize this memory bit, which is crucial. Now I need to look for M1. What is this thing turning on? Well, we come down to the next rung. You can see M1 there. It's in series with my control relay, which we know should be closed already. Once M1 times out, this contact will close, turning on motor 2. So there's your sequence of that piece. We need this to time out, so we're looking for the control relay again to be tied in and making sure M1 allows that to happen. So we already know M1 allowed that to close, and now this is taking 10 seconds to time out. Once that times out, we get memory bit number 2. So our next run, we should see memory bit number 2 tied into play here. And we're going to notice once again that on delay timed out, and we're going to allow this timer to time, and you'll see how that sequence keeps going. So let's get this thing fired up so you can see it work in real life. Right now it's already transferred, so I'm just going to, I know I'm going to go to commission and it's not going to show anything because it's already there. So what I'll show you is, let me go back, I had to save some, I relabeled some things so we can see an effective transfer. So watch, when I go back to commission, I'll click on my controller. It says PC to controller download. And it's just got some new labels. Now I'm good. I'm going to go back to my program and watch this work. So I'm going to hit my start button and we're going to watch the timer time out. So this will be the first one that we're going to see time out. 10 seconds, it's going to go pretty quick, so I'm going to hit my start button. You'll see in this video I'm utilizing motor 1, motor 2, and motor 3. Those are my little microwave motors that I took out from the tray of the microwave ovens. I got them tied into a terminal strip directly to my outputs. So what will happen is during this video when I hit start, we're going to see motor 1 come on, you'll see that turn. 10 seconds later you'll see this one turn, motor 2. 10 seconds later you'll see motor 3. When I hit the stop, it'll be the reverse of that sequence. This will stop. 10 seconds later, this will stop. 10 seconds later, that one will stop. So let's get to the start. We hit start. We're seeing our timer time out. We see motor 1 is running as it should. Now 10 seconds went by, motor 2 is going. And when 10 seconds times out, we should see motor 3. And there she's going. You can see motor 3 is a little smaller, synchronous a little bit slower, but now they're all moving. Once I hit my stop button, I'm going to lose motor 3. 10 seconds later, I'm going to lose motor 2. 10 seconds later, I'm going to lose motor 1. Okay, that worked as it should. Let's watch the screen again. I'm going to turn this on again. There's my timer. So that's motor 1. Now it's letting motor 2, and we see motor 2 is running. It's timing out. Let's get to number 3. There's motor 3. Motor 3 is now running. They're all running. Now we're waiting for the off delay. So now I'm going to hit stop and you're going to see this off delay work. So I'm going to reach over here. I hit stop. Watch the timer. There it is counting down. We're going to lose motor 2 in a minute. There we go. We lost motor 2. There's the other timer involved. Now we're going to lose motor 1, and there we go, we lost it. So if we set the timers longer, you can really visually get through the program and watch it work a little slower, but that's pretty much that circuit. We went from 30 plus or more wiring with a bunch of relays and labels all the way down to only needing 4 wires for the output, 3 for the input, and the circuit works as it should. So hopefully you enjoyed the video with 3 simulated motors, and we'll see you at the next one.